Picture this. It is 7:48 p.m. on a Tuesday. She is sitting in her car, in the parking garage, or just outside her office where she's worked for 11 years. The engine is still running. She's been sitting there for 6 minutes. She's not on the phone. She is not answering emails. She is just sitting there in the dark, not quite ready to go inside to whatever the evening holds. She doesn't even know exactly what this is. The thing is, she has been here before. I know her. You might be her. This episode is for the both of you, or maybe the both of us. Hey, welcome to the Dreamcast. I am Meghna Dasani, and let's get into it, shall we? See, there is a version of your life that you have not thought about in a long time. Not because you forgot about it, but because at some point, probably gradually, you decided that it was the kind of thing that you weren't allowed to want anymore. It felt too big, too specific, or just too risky to say out loud. So you stopped. Not in a dramatic moment, but just quietly. The way that a lot of people do, filed it under someday, and you moved on to the next urgent thing. And you know what? That someday probably never came. See, here's what I know about high achieving women, about the doctors, the dentists, the ones I have worked with, hundreds of them. We are incredibly good at pushing our desires downwards in the name of practicality. Because we are taught to be realistic. We are taught to manage expectations. We are taught that wanting something very specific and very large is selfish. Just find something you can justify, something you can defend in case it doesn't work out. Defensible. That's the word. We swap out our dream version for the defensible version. And what do? We call it maturity. It isn't. See, I bought a dental practice in 2010. I had 2 young daughters. I was working as an associate part-time at someone else's office. I used to drop my kids off at daycare well before the sun was up most days and pick them up late in the evenings. And I told myself that the day I owned my own practice, everything would change. Everything would be different. I would be a present mom. I would make it to whatever they needed me to be at because it was mine. Here's what nobody told me. Day 1 of buying that new practice, well, day 0, I think, every single person quit. Every team member that was with the previous doctor left. In that first year, along with my new team, I was constantly putting out fires. I barely saw my kids. I was a bad leader to that new team that I was actually scrambling to build. I wanted out. But you can't really return a dental practice that you've bought, can you? Somewhere in that year, I quietly started filing away that version of my life that I had actually wanted, the one that looked like presence and freedom and something that I had built genuinely. And I replaced it by just getting through the week, right? We've all been there. I see that same pattern everywhere. A physician who spent 15 years becoming the most qualified person in the room, and somehow she is still waiting for permission to lead the department. A founder who built the company she said she wanted, and now she wonders privately, was this actually it? Or the woman who hit that benchmark that she set, but she is still sitting in the parking garage at 7:48 p.m. on a Tuesday, just not going home yet. She is not ungrateful. She is not broken. She just had a dream, that a life that she believed in at one point, and then somewhere along the way, she stopped saying it out loud. And then she stopped saying it to herself. And now she is just not entirely sure if she's even allowed to say it. See, here's the thing about the filing away that nobody talks about. It wasn't wisdom. It was fear with better posture. And what do? We dress it up as realism. We call it being responsible. We dress it up as, I'm not 22 anymore. I know what life is actually supposed to look like. Yeah, some of that is genuine maturity, but some of it is learning from experience too. But a lot of it, let's be honest, it's just the story that you and we told ourselves after we felt that going after what we really wanted was not a choice that we had the luxury of making. And that distinction, that matters. So here's a question that I ask the women that I work with when we first start. I ask them, hey, if you knew it would work, what would you build? Oh my gosh, and the answers are remarkable. They're outrageous. They are so specific because she knows. She has never stopped knowing, but she's only taught, well trained to figure out what's going to work and what isn't. And I stop her right there before that qualifier. Because let's be honest, that qualifier is not information. It is a habit. It is a protective mechanism that she developed somewhere between the first time that she was told to be realistic and today, where she's learned to be useful for so long that she cannot tell where one stops and the other begins. See, you did not stop wanting the life you stopped believing was possible. You just stopped saying it out loud. And then it started to feel like wanting it was being irresponsible or being naive or evidence that you just hadn't learned the right lessons. But see, that is not the lesson. The lesson is how to want it correctly, which is with your whole heart and also with a plan. Those two things are not in conflict. So let me paint something for you today. Are you ready for it? I want you to imagine the woman who reopened that file. She didn't blow up her life to do it. She didn't quit everything and move to a farm in Vermont, although that sounds really good some days. She just one afternoon sat down with herself and said, okay, here is what I really want. I'm going to say it plainly without the qualifier, and I'm going to treat it as something worth building towards. And it changed how she moved, not overnight, not all at once, but it changed the frame. The decisions she made then started pointing in the direction because she finally knew what that direction was. Don't get me wrong, there is still going to be hard weeks. There will still be Tuesday evenings where you're tired in a way that is less structural. But now there is a difference between tired and lost. And you know which one it is. This, by the way, is what I mean when I talk about building your dream life. Not perfect, not frictionless, oriented. Moving towards something real instead of running away from something that is frightening. That is what is available to you, not someday, not after the next thing, now. The reopening is the work, and you do not need more qualifications or certifications or somebody else's permission to begin. You just need to admit that that file exists You didn't stop wanting it. You just stopped saying it out loud. Let me know if this resonated. Hey, I'm Meghna Dasani, and I will see you tomorrow.